Skinny Hardaway Southern T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button as well. We talk this good MMA, boxing, sports, parlays, predictions every single day, and not just today. Today, we here with a PFL Africa EP, Johannesburg. I think it's Johannesburg. Let's go with Johannesburg. PFL Africa 2, Johannesburg. The first PFL Africa 1 was in Cape Town. That was about 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, right? This is the second edition to PFL Africa, right? They're going to do it in Johannesburg. We got about a 10-fight card on here. I'm not overly familiar with all of the fighters on here. I have seen a few of the fighters fight, right? I had to do straight tape study, right, on the other half of these fighters, right? But I'm going to do my best to give y'all the picks to my best ability. We had a pretty good PFL Africa 1 card, right? Except for Johnny Eblin blowing the bag for us at the end, right? But outside of that, we had a pretty good PFL Africa 1 card. Let's try to repeat the same with PFL Africa 2, Johannesburg, right? Last week, we went perfect, right? Had a perfect week. Last week, we went 4 for 4 on our 4-leg parlay. And we also hit both of our underdog picks, right? So we went 6 out of 6 of the best that I gave away last week. I told you to parlay up those 4. They got us up to about plus 111. One of the underdogs was plus 11. The other underdog was the second underdog was plus 111. The parlay was worth plus 111, and then the second underdog was worth about plus 132. If you're like me, right, I put all 6 of them together. I hit that parlay, right, and I also played the 4, and I played the 2 dogs on the singer, right. So I had a pretty good day, perfect day. As far as the bets I gave out, I think I missed about maybe 2 fight picks or something like that. All of my bets were perfect, right. So we gonna try to take last week, bring it into this week with PFL Africa 2, and we gonna make it do what it do, right? So I wasted enough of y'all time. Let's go ahead and get into the fights. We gonna keep the main thing. We gonna start with the main event, and we gonna run that right into the co-main, and then I'm gonna break down the rest of the fights for y'all. Enough of me talking. Let's go and get to it. All right, we gonna keep the main thing. In the main event, we got Ocheme. Hope I'm not saying that wrong. Versus Camara. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right? So we got Ocheme versus Camara. From the film that I studied, it's looking like striker versus grappler. Ocheme being the striker, the grappler being Camara. Camara does, like throw bombs to get in on the inside to get to his takedowns. He's a guy who likes to spam takedowns. Ocheme is a, pretty big guy, athletic guy, sturdy guy, right? He hadn't had to fight off a whole lot of takedowns in his career. He's shown maybe a bit of a sign, right, to have some takedown defense, but the way that Camara is going to be pressing the action and pressing the takedowns, it could make it a little difficult for him, right? Ocheme is, again, he's crazy athletic, but he carries his hands kind of low, right? He has really good head movement. He doesn't get clipped as much as you would think. He has been knocked out once before, because of the long hands. And the guy that knocked him out was a monster in itself, right? So 2 monsters fight, somebody has to lose. But he does carry his hands low, which gives me cause to pause. But Camara isn't the greatest of strikers, right? But if your hands low, right, I'm always going to be a little worried. I think Ocheme is going to be the quicker athlete. Power, I think, is more dangerous, probably Ocheme, right? But when you can take a guy down to the ground and wrestle him, sometimes you don't always have to be dangerous. You just have to maintain control. So if this fight is standing, then I think Ocheme is going to win a battle of, the point fight. He's going to be able to outpoint him. Possible knockout if he gets over aggressive. If it's fought in the clinch or on the ground, then there's going to be advantage Camara. It's a tricky kind of fight. Odds have not dropped for this fight yet. I wish that I could see the odds right so I could tell you, let's just go with the value here or the value there, right? Because there is a chance that Ocheme, could knock him out, but there's also a chance that Camara's takedown offense continuous could be too much for Ocheme, who's never seen something like that, and he could lose this fight. 50-50 fight. I think the best bet in this fight is it goes the distance. I'm going to take Ocheme for the win. Every fight starts on his feet, so I'm going to go with the striker. I think he'll be physical enough, right, to be able to stop some of those takedowns, keep it on the feet at times. I got Ocheme for the win. Low confidence pick. Next fight, we got Maine versus Esperaka. I'm going to make this breakdown a little faster. And this, I'm going to go with Esperaka. This is kind of striker versus grappler. Bobby Maine does have some wrestling and grappling, right? But I think Esperaka's is a lot better. He's another guy. He throws bombs as well to get on the inside. He can strike a little bit more power striking than technical striking. But Bobby Maine, he is kind of technical, but he's not the most technical guy as well, dangerous guy as well. I don't think this fight goes the distance for sure, and I'm going to go with Esperaka. Esperaka is probably going to be a dog in this, right? So if the odds come out and he's a dog, Esperaka will be my pick, and it's going to be a dog pick. Medium confidence in this fight. I will be betting this fight, right? Esperaka for the win. Think he can get the ground control, maybe land a ground and pound stoppage or something like that. Think he's going to be the more dominant physical force in the ring. So I got Esperaka for the win. Next fight, we got Bolang versus Octave. I'm going to go with Bolang in this. Both guys are mostly grapplers, right? Octave, I think his striking is very limited. Bolang can strike. I think Bolang is more technical, even with his grappling. I think Bolang should be able to get that win. I think he might be a dog too, so there might be another dog pick that we got. Bolang for the win, medium confidence. All right, next we got Sadique versus Tchala. I think that's how you say his name, Tchala. If it ain't, I'm gonna say Tchala anyway because I think it's cool. And in this fight, I think these two are pretty evenly matched. I think Tchala is the quicker, sharper athlete, quicker, sharper fighter, right? I think Sadique may be the more powerful fighter. Tchala has a couple inches in height on Sadique. Don't always mean he has a reach advantage, but these guys' reach isn't listed. But I'm just going to assume, right, taller guy, longer reach in this fight. In a fight where these guys are both even, that's basically what I leaned on. I think both these guys want to strike. I know Tchala wants to strike. Sadique is mostly a striker as well, so I'm thinking it's going to be a standing match. I think Tchala is going to use his range, right? I think he's going to be able to outpoint Sadique to a decision. I think at some point Sadique may decide to wrestle, and then it will be interesting to see if Tchala, is comfortable in that realm. But Sadique is a striker. I think Tchala is going to be shiftier, quicker, right? A little more crafty in this fight, while Sadique is more like power and brute, right? So I'm going to take Tchala to outpoint Sadique in this fight. I got Tchala for the win, medium confidence. All right, next fight we got Benadito versus Dossi. In this fight, Benadito is going to be noticeably bigger, larger. Both these guys like the strike, but both these guys are better at the ground game and the wrestling. I think eventually, I think all in all, wrestling grappling match is going to break out between these two. The style to beat Benadito, Dossi does have, but I think if Dossi can get to his back, then right, he could probably win this fight. But I think he's going to have trouble getting past the range of Benadito. Probably not going to bet this fight, low confidence pick, but I'm going to take Benadito in this fight, and what I think is going to be a grappling submission match, right? Don't trust it to go to distance or not go to distance, because both these guys are finishers on the ground, right? So I would just say Benadito to win, low confidence pick. All right, next fight, we got Nasimo versus Joseph. I couldn't find a whole lot of type on Nasimo, right? The white Joseph, he's on PFL Africa, but, he's American, so I guess he's African-American. But anyway, I digress, right? I'm going to go with Dwight Joseph here. Dwight Joseph might be an underdog, right? So maybe I'm picking another dog. Nasimo has an O, right? He's 7-0. Dwight Joseph is about somewhere like 14-2 or something like that. I'm going to go with the experience of Dwight Joseph. I think he's more tested, right? He fights out of the American top team. I think he's a bit better all around, right? He's a nice athlete, even though he's a little older. He's only a little older, right? This guy has 7 fights, 29 years old. Dwight Joseph is 34 years old, right? And he has about 16 fights, So a lot more experience, and I think young enough still to where, you know, he's just as athletic as Nasimo, if not more athletic, even at 34, right? So I got Dwight Joseph for the win. Hopefully, he's an underdog. I guess this will be a high confidence pick, you know, I guess, right? So Dwight Joseph for the win. All right, next fight we got Yambi versus, I'm guessing, Sakara, right? I'm gonna take Yambi in this fight. Think he's better all around. Sakara is just a kickboxer, you know, striker, Muay Thai guy. Yambi is more all around. I think he's more dangerous, has more power too as well. Kind of feel like they send Yambi up for a KO or something like that. So I got Yambi for the win. Had confidence. All right, next fight we got Tam Gang versus Lao. I'm gonna go with Tam Gang in this. He's one of the fighters that the PFL Africa is pushing, right? He's not that experienced, but he's more experienced than Loao, right? So I see Tam Gang winning this fight, I think, rather easily, right? By knockout. I think this is gonna be one of the higher odds fights on the card, right? So Tam Gang, high confidence pick. In the next fight, we got Edisha versus Labaya. Labaya is one of the better fighters here. Edisha is pretty good, you know, himself. His record says 7-3, but really it's like 8-2. He got disqualified for like an illegal knee to a downed opponent, right? So he's pretty good in himself. But I'm gonna go with Labaya in this high confidence pick, right? Labaya may end up winning this whole thing, right? So we got I'm guessing it's gonna be, both these guys are pretty well-rounded. I think Labaya is a little more dangerous. I think Labaya is a little more tested as far as competition. So Labaya for the win. High confidence pick. All right, in the next fight, we got Sten versus Arishidi. I think if Sten can't land the takedown, then Sten is going to lose. Arishidi, if he can't, you know, stop the takedowns of Sten, then he's going to lose. Classic striker versus grappler. Bit more tricky than the last, you know, couple picks that we had in this one, because I can see past the victory for both these guys. I guess I'm going to roll with Sten to actually land the takedowns. If he can't keep him down, though, things could get interesting. Arishidi is good at getting up from takedowns, but Sten is also good at, you know, not letting you up once you have gotten down. But if Sten can't take you down, then it gets interesting. But I got Sten for the win. Low confidence pick. All right, these are my most confident picks for the card, man. And that's how we rocking. That's how we go get up out of here. Odds ain't dropped yet. Check the pin comment for the odds. Appreciate y'all folks sliding through.